My name is Kelsey Hamby, and this is my final presentation for chapters 11 through 20 of the first days of school. For chapter 11, how to have a well-managed classroom. The most important thing a teacher can provide in a classroom is consistency. Effective teachers manage their classrooms versus the ineffective teacher just disciplines a classroom. Positive behavior reward systems are a great way to help this. You need to establish your classroom management in the first week of school. Well-managed classrooms are task-oriented and has a predictable environment. Again, coming back to that consistency. How to have your classroom ready to go. If you're ineffective and you and your students are both going to pay the price for it, always be ready. This is going to maximize learning and it's going to help minimize your bad behavior, and be ready before you come to school. If you know you need a cup of coffee, or in my case, that glass of hot tea in the morning, I need to do it before I interact with my first student. That way, we're set. We're both ready and we're both aware that we're ready for the day. How to introduce yourself to your class. Perception is reality no matter what the truth is. You should be ready to help your students no matter if they're yours or not. Give a good positive image to everyone and make sure on the first day that the kids know your name and they know your expectations when you're introducing yourself to your class. How to arrange and assign seating. Students need to sit in a way that is conducive to the learning environment. If not, they will accomplish what you need them to. All right? If they're sitting the way that you need them to, they're going to get done what you've asked them to. You should assign seats from the beginning if you plan to. Don't try and do it halfway through the year, because taking away a privilege from them like that, it doesn't go over well and it's not going to end well for you. Have assignments ready for those kids and greet them with their directions as soon as they come in the door. It can be as simple as, "Good morning, John. Why don't you check the board for me for what I need you to do today?" And they're going to know exactly what you want them to do and when you want them to do it. How to start your class effectively. Just like in industry, to be efficient in your classroom, your students should have a routine to know what to do. If your students have assignments, know where to find those assignments and know the why about those assignments, your room is going to run more efficiently and you're going to have less behavior problems. Some kind of warm-up or running project is the perfect thing for this. In my class, we work on code.org for the first 15 minutes of every single class when they get to me. When and how to take roll. Don't come in and be the drill sergeant or camp counselor or yelling and screaming names and breaking your students' concentration. When you take roll in ways that ask the kids to make noise and the noise level gets louder, you're going to waste your time and you're making the kids participate in something that they don't need to. And again, you're just wasting so much class time. Use a seating chart if you have one, or have a way to have students check in with you as they walk in is a much more effective way to take roll without disrupting your whole class. So it could be something as simple as they need their journal every day. You can look up once everyone is there and see the 3 kids that don't have their journals. They either have not paid attention to what you've asked them to do, so they're probably up disrupting your class. So you probably know if they're there or not, or you now know these 3 students are absent today. How to maintain an effective grade record system. An effective gradebook shows your students' grades at all times. Your students, your parents, teachers, they should never question how a student is doing in your class, and don't let those assignments pile up and not get graded. Try to dedicate a small portion of your time every day to just get a few grades done. When you work to get them done a little at a time, all the time, they don't pile up and you won't lose a whole day to grading. So if your kids get 15 minutes at the end of class for sustained silent reading, use that 15 minutes to grade a couple papers. Walk around the room, put them on a clipboard, walk around the room and grade them while you're monitoring your kids. It's a great way to keep you from falling behind. How to have an effective discipline plan. Start teaching your kids the rules from day one and keep it going and keep it going strong. If you need to add a new rule or if the kids question the rules, you need to be ready to explain the why these rules exist. I can't tell you how many times I have had kids ask me to add rules to our classroom, and I've asked them, well, I need to know why. Why should we have that rule? If you can tell me why, and we all decide it's a good rule, absolutely, we can have it. You should never just go to that go to like mom used to, because I said so. That's not a good answer for your students. Have a system of consequences and rewards to help students work towards those good behaviors. If you can get your whole school on a PBIS program, it's a great way to work towards that. And again, you get that consistency. But now, instead of just consistency in your room, you can have consistency from your whole school. 19. How to teach students to follow classroom procedures. Most of your behavior problems come from students not following your procedures and routines. In a classroom where you have not thought out what's going to happen, where your students don't know what to do, or you don't spend your time managing your classroom, you're much more likely to run into these problems. So, get them ready. Make sure they know what they should do every day, and your room's going to run significantly smoother. And how procedures improve the opportunity to learn. When you have procedures ready for your students and they know what they should do and what is expected of them, you're going to give them more opportunities to learn. One of the best ways to keep the learning happening, even when you have to discipline students, is to have a nonverbal cue that your students understand. Something as simple as class dojo systems, or even just a thumbs down when your kid does something. Or if you perfect the parent look, that mom or dad look at your students, like, you know, you're not supposed to do that. You need to knock it off. 99% of the time, once you've established your classroom, they're going to listen. All right, guys, thank you so much. And that's my presentation.